And good afternoon, everybody. This is Richard G., and this is Jersey Talk Radio, radio worth watching. I'm sitting here with Janet Maddalena, who's my first guest today, but I also want to recognize that across the board, working the board and stuff, is my partner, Bruce Pearson, who's not going to talk today, but he's here also. Janet, I guess what I wanted to say is that probably everybody in Hunterdon County and out in the outskirts of Hunterdon County knows Maddalena's cheesecakes.
Well, we've been baking cheesecakes for a long time, and before we baked cheesecakes, my husband Gene, who is responsible for the recipe for this cheesecake, was born in Hunterdon County and went to school here. So when we opened our business in 1982, a long time ago, the way that he helped people get familiar with our cheesecake was to give the cheesecake to just about everybody that he ran into. Back in 82, we didn't have internet, we didn't have any money, and so we couldn't afford to advertise, and the way that he went about business was to take a cheesecake with him wherever he went. If he went to the dentist, if he went to the plumbing store, if he went to buy welding equipment, wherever he went, he took a cheesecake. And it wasn't very long before everybody had tried the cheesecake or had heard about the cheesecake. So it was a good way to do things. At the time, I was a little nervous because we didn't have much experience, but it seemed to come back tenfold for us. And over the years, we've done wedding cakes for people. We've been selling the cheesecake in so many of the local stores, especially the ShopRites, and we've gotten to know people in Hunterdon County, and they've gotten to know us, and it's been a good experience for us.
And you know, that was probably the best way to do it, because I can just equate being an artist. And if I don't go out and tell people and show people and stuff, nobody ever drives back my driveway and says, "Can I see your artwork?"
Right. Exactly.
So you've got to let people know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a perfect way of doing it. It's like what we do a lot today is networking. Mm-hmm. And in some ways, that's what he was doing.
I think he was ahead of his time in so
many
ways.
Yes. Now, why did he get into cheesecakes?
Well, he was a chef, and he had been. When we first got married, we worked in this little restaurant. He had been working as a chef in country clubs and doing a lot of catering, and he really enjoyed that. And we had an opportunity in 1980, when the year we got married, to go to work for this little restaurant in Somerset. And the deal was that if you helped buy the equipment, set up the restaurant, and run it, you could cater from there and advertise, and it could be the catering is yours. And
use the equipment.
Right.
Yeah,
so we basically were able to sort of get started a little bit. It was in Somerset in Greenbrook on 202. So we ended up that restaurant did not stay in business for more than about it was not just a restaurant. It was a seafood wholesale and retail seafood store and they asked us to put in a little takeout restaurant. But for Gene, the motivator was to be able to do the catering and start, to get a business going. So when we were creating the menus for that place, the cheesecake was developed. And back then, we made 6 cheesecakes a week. That was it.
Yeah, how many do you make now?
We make probably 1,000 a day. We could make 1,000 a day. We don't bake every day, but and we could do more if we needed to. But we basically, one bowl of our cheesecake is about 120 cakes. So
really? Depending
on how many we need, what's going on, what flavors we're doing, we're putting out quite a few. But back in the beginning, it was just, for this little takeout restaurant, so that we had a dessert, one of the desserts that we offered, and people loved it. And one of the gentlemen that was selling us, he was worked for the purveyor that we were buying our ingredients from. Gene sent a cake home with him, and he and his family went nuts over it. And every time he came to visit us, he would say, you need to do this. You need to, make this cheesecake for restaurants, and people would love it. It's better than anything out there. And at the time, it sounded just, completely crazy because we, couldn't even imagine doing that. And
So it really wasn't his idea to create cheesecakes.
Gene?
Yeah.
Not really.
He had other things.
He had, yeah.
But this is kind of how life throws it
Yeah,
at you.
exactly. It wasn't like we were like, oh, let's, go off and get into the cheesecake business. The cheesecake business, basically, when we ended up leaving there, it was to build on the catering business that we had started during that year, and the cheesecake seemed like a perfect fit for a way for us to balance.
Sure.
Until we built up a reputation and got known, so that we could have a product that we could sell, in between the catering jobs.
So we should say that your husband has passed.
Yes, it's
About
been
6 years ago?
6 years ago, October 23rd.
How did he feel about the fact that cheesecake became Maddalena? His name was basically cheesecake.
I know, and he was very proud. He was
He
very
should be.
proud, and I think that, I don't think it was what his original plan was at all, but for Gene to be able to create something like this and go out and have people enjoy it. I think he felt great that he could make people happy and that he could, appeal to their, it's like comfort food.
Sure.
People loved it, and people constantly, he got praise, and I could tell you some funny stories. Sure.
The thing is that it's the people that understand when life throws them that little twist to take it and run with it, and he was one of those.
He did.
And that's what most successful people do, because there's a lot of successful people out there that I'm sure didn't start out thinking, I want to be this, and ended up being something else.
Yep.
Because that's the way life did the twist. And Gene did the thing. He took it and ran with it.
And of course, there were other parts, and Gene loved. He was a hands-on guy. If we had to buy everything new, if we had to pay other people to install and fix, I don't think we could have made it in the beginning. But he was, he and his father and his brother, very handy, very, very intelligent, and very capable. And so when we purchased equipment, we took it apart, we brought it home, and we put it back together again. And if it broke, he fixed it.
Now, you were telling me before that the ovens can be as big as a room.
That's right.
Which is amazing to me.
Yeah, we have the shelves, go around like this. They're a big, carousel.
Okay, so
And
they move while
they
baking?
move. We
Okay.
we bake the cheesecakes in a water bath. So we have big pans that go in, and then we fill them up with about an inch of water, and then the cheesecakes go in. So they're not a springform pan. Some people make cheesecake in a springform pan.
Okay.
If you did that, the water would seep in. But we are able to do them in a water bath, and that we're able to control the cooking a little bit better. It keeps it from cracking on top and turning brown.
And what did you say before? You can do 1,000 cakes a day?
Oh yeah, easily.
Easily.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me.
I remember years and years ago, we baked a much smaller cake for a particular customer, and we worked around the clock for 28 hours straight, if I remember correctly. And I think we did something like 28,000 cheesecakes, and it was just grueling. And I don't ever want to go back and do that again. It was awful.
Now,
but
let me
we
ask you
have
this.
done it.
Do you like cheesecake?
Well, I think our cheesecake is delicious.
I do too.
And I don't.
But I'm wondering
I
when you're living with cheesecake, whether you really...
Right. I would say I taste to make sure that it's consistent, and I taste it, especially if we're playing with a new flavor. I can't say that I sit and have a piece of cheesecake every day, but I definitely enjoy our cheesecake and appreciate it. But it's not something that after a while you don't eat the thing that the food that you're making every day.
Sure.
On a regular basis.
It's like a plumber doesn't usually go home and work on the plumbing.
Exactly.
But now, Gene passed away of cancer 6 years ago.
Right.
Who runs the business now?
Me, me, and I have my sons. Our both of our boys are have been working, in the family business with us for almost, knee high.
Sure, sure.
And they are very involved and very much a part of everything. We work together and we make it work. It's been tricky. It's been a challenge. Sometimes it's been you might come and hear us yell at each other. It's not that easy to work as a family in a family business and be mom and boss. I wish. I really don't know what it would be like just to be the mom, because we started the business before they were born, and they started to work for us when they were, too young to really be working. And so, there's never been a time where there wasn't some kind of pressure on them from me. Come to work on time, what is it that, has to be done today, give them a hard time. I'd love to just have been just mom.
Okay.
But unfortunately, the Maddalenas are business, and it seems like the business and the family are very much one.
Yeah, I don't think I could have worked for my mother. That would have never worked out.
Yeah. It has been a challenge. It really has been a challenge, but it's gotten better. It was really tricky after Jean died, and I wasn't sure I was going to make it, but we've come a long way. And
to tell you the truth, I'm really sorry, because I was going to ask you before we did this if I could talk about that.
Oh, that's okay. It's
so
fine.
I didn't want to put you on the spot or anything.
It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
But now, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you about do you sell cheesecakes?
People can come to us to purchase a cheesecake if they'd like. People can find our cheesecake at many of the local stores, in particular the ShopRites of the Colillo family owns the shop, 5 ShopRites, and we're in all of them, and we're happy to be part of their family. But if anybody wants to come out to Ringoes, we're almost always there.
You want to give the address? You want to give a phone number?
415 Route 31 North, Ringoes, New Jersey. Our phone number is 609-466-7510. Our website is www.maddalenaskatering.com.
Now, let's talk about, I know you want to talk about, you've got something coming up for Thanksgiving.
Yes, we do.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. I think this might be the 18th year in a row that we've been doing a Thanksgiving dinner. Basically, this is...
I left mine across the table.
That's okay. You can share.
I left my glasses over there, too. So.
We're good. I'll read it to you.
Yeah, okay.
Every year, we offer to do this dinner for our customers, and we are cooking our turkeys on Thanksgiving Day. We ask that people place their orders and pick a time between 11 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and our birds are scheduled to go in the oven based on the weight of the bird and the time they're coming to pick them up. Okay. So they're not just all going in at one time. They're going in, we have a schedule. And my husband's cousin, Mick, who was a physicist at the time at Sloan Catering, we spent a lot of time with him when Jean was back and forth, and I said, I need a way to get this organized. Will you help me? So I always love to tell people a physicist helped me write this formula.
Good, terrific.
And so he did, and so we're able to take all the turkeys and put them on a list with the actual weight of the bird and the customer number and the time they're coming. And he wrote a formula that I can plug in, and it'll tell me what time that bird needs to go in. So once I have that column with all the times that they have to go in, I put them in order based on earliest to latest. And then they're all numbered and they go in the oven. And so the night before Thanksgiving, everybody gets the birds ready, and the racks that are going in first are closest to the door and vice versa. They go in the oven and they come out. When they come out of the oven, we put them in an insulated box, wrapped up, ready to go home. Then all the sides are ready for the customer to take home. They heat their own sides at home, and they We have instructions for them to tell them what, the times and the temperatures, but everything's ready to go. So the complete Thanksgiving dinner includes the turkey that comes home hot and ready to be carved. We make our own old-fashioned pan gravy. We make a fresh cranberry sauce, fresh mashed potatoes, sweet potato casserole with pecans, buttered sweet corn, glazed baby carrots, Jean's homemade sweet dinner rolls. We let everyone choose either a vanilla cheesecake or a pumpkin cheesecake, and they get an apple crumb pie to take home.
Everybody gets that.
Everybody gets the apple pie, and they choose.
But I mean that whole.
That's the
it.
package. Yes.
Could
you send that to Jeff? Thank you.
And I just lost what I was going
I'm
to say.
so sorry.
That's okay.
You said that was the whole package.
Yeah. Well, but your Thanksgiving is not a Thanksgiving.
It's not.
Well.
Oh, for me.
Yeah,
for
you're
us.
cooking like crazy.
Well, this is true. We're busy working, and we're done by 2:00. I have to say, I really think we enjoy it. We have loved doing this. There's something about it. First of all, I've gotten to know the customers over the years, and most of the customers come back every year or every other year because people take turns, at different families.
Sure.
So I enjoy it because I just, I feel like a connection with the customers that are coming to us. But for a long time, we would turn our bake shop into a little restaurant afterwards and set up for tables and bring the family to us. But after Jean died, I needed a change, and so we don't do that anymore. But we have a lot of memories of big family dinners right in the bakery. We'd move everything out and set up the tables, and there would be about 20, 25 of us. But the last couple of years since Jean died, we'll go to my sister's, and we get there. Probably by the time we get there, it's 5, and we're worn out because we've gotten up early.
Yeah.
And they're kind enough to wait for us so we can have dinner together. And we actually do have Thanksgiving. It's just a little later.
That's terrific. What it is if you enjoy what you're doing, and when you're, like you said, you deal with some of the same people over and over again, there's got to be a feeling of accomplishment.
It is. I mean, I have to say, when we first started, I was a wreck because we weren't just catering for one family. We were taking the responsibility for, I don't know, we've done as many as 65 families Thanksgiving dinners.
Wow.
And so the first year it wasn't that many. I think it might have been 13 families. I don't know, the second year was in the 30s and so on. But especially the first couple of years, what if they don't like it? What if they don't have enough? What if it doesn't stay hot enough? What if? But fortunately, the response has been wonderful. And, we get a lot of positive feedback. And they come back. And they tell their friends.
And I think the great thing is if you go out to eat on Thanksgiving, you never have the leftovers.
Exactly.
So at least you're giving them, and there's leftovers.
And we planned it so that there's enough food for, with that in mind. We really did. The way that we do this is we have a spreadsheet set up that, as they call in, they tell me they're 8 people or 10 people or whatever. The spreadsheet populates across with certain weights so that they're not all getting the same package. They're getting us the sizes that they need for the amount of people that will be eating it. And it was always planned so that they could have munchies all weekend long, just like they would if they made it themselves.
Sure. It seems like a lot of work for you.
It is. It is a lot of work, but we
you're
love
smiling.
It. We do. We like it.
Obviously like it.
We like it.
And as I said before, I think there's a feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah. Pride, we feel good about it. We send all these people home with this wonderful dinner. They get to enjoy the day with their families, and, it's the one time of year that we can cater for a small group of 8 people. And we can make that happen, because normally for us to cater for a very, very small group, it doesn't make sense for us the way that we're built. We're not a restaurant, we're not a deli. So
Sure.
If somebody calls us and they want us to cater for 8 people, we could do it, but I probably couldn't make it affordable for them.
Yeah,
I was
gonna
there's
say.
a certain level that we have to a number of people that makes more sense for us.
And why don't we talk about that real quickly? Because you do catering.
Yes, we do.
And you do a lot. I see you at a lot of functions. I see you at chamber functions and various things.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you talk a little about that?
Okay. Well, again, this is one of the reasons we started in business to begin with. Was Gene his goal, his dream was to be a caterer, and we have been catering for a long, long time. Again, 33 years. 82 was the first year we were in business, and the kind of catering we do is varied, and we basically do anything from a picnic, a full-scale picnic menu, to a brunch. We do cocktail parties. I can think of 3 in particular. We're going to be doing for Verizon Wireless on Christmas Eve morning. For I don't know how many years now we've been doing a breakfast for them, and so they'll order. We'll actually bring in omelets that we've made, scrambled eggs, sausage, bacon, French toast, pancakes, that kind of thing. So
no cheesecakes?
Actually, do they do? I think they do cheesecake.
I would think.
We do bring some cheesecake and apple pie for dessert.
I think my son would eat cheesecake in a minute.
But that, so that's a breakfast. In that case, we actually make the omelets and then bring it and drop it off.
Mm-hmm.
We've also done parties where we'll do live, bye Jeff, live omelets, live stations where we're making omelets to order. It depends on the numbers. The Verizon party is about 120. We've done for 30-something years now, Flemington Car and Truck Country. We've done their summer annual picnic.
Okay.
And they have had anywhere from 350 to 700 people for this picnic. And it is a full-scale barbecue with, soup to nuts. We do, hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken ribs. We've done the pierogies, corn on the cob, steamed clams. Let's see, what else do we do?
I'm getting
the last
hungry.
couple of years, we changed it up a little, and we do a roasted pig for them. We do the full desserts with apple pie, assorted cookies, brownies, cheesecake. Last year and the year before, I think we did the cheesecake on a stick for them, where we brought in.
That's your newest thing.
Yeah, that is. We have that. That's another sidebar for us. We just keep, going off a little bit different. It's changing things up just a little bit at a time.
But see, I think that's, first of all, I think that's a sign of someone who is really into what they're doing, that you can come up with new things. And here's one of them right here that was just delivered. Explain what this is.
Okay, this is our graham cracker chocolate chip cheesecake cookie. We're not 100% sure that we have settled on a name for them, but at the time we're calling them Chookies. My son Gene isn't too crazy about that. I think it's a cute name. But it's a graham cracker chocolate chip cookie. It's just loaded with
If I show it to the camera.
the little 10,000 count chocolate chips.
And right in the middle
Cheesecake.
is cheesecake.
So the thing with these is that so far they're all handmade. They're rolled out with a rolling pin. The cookies get baked, and then we pipe cheesecake between the two.
Now I'm going to open this up and show it to the camera too. I'm not used to having a camera on the radio, but this is, boy, the smell. Ooh, not that it's a bad smell. Good smell. Can you smell that, Bruce?
Oh, yeah.
This is
This is our apple crumb pie.
apple crumb pie. Look at the size
We make
of that.
these This is again one of Gene's recipes.
Okay.
It's Granny Smith apples.
Lift it up.
Lift it up a little more. Okay.
No preservatives, and all butter crust.
Is that good?
These pies are
Pie's going to slip out.
unbelievable. We get the
What's heavy?
yeah, it's close to 4 pounds.
Yeah.
So
Whoa.
this again is one of the products that we make that it takes a lot of handwork, and here, I'll close that up for you. It's a little tricky.
Okay, we got it. Yeah, that must take a lot of time.
It does. Yesterday they made 500 pies.
500 pies. Oh my God.
We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. This is the time.
Now, if somebody's out there and they really would like to get your Thanksgiving dinner, How do they get in touch with you?
They can go on our website, and
And the website is, again?
www.maddalenaskatering.com. On there, if you click on Thanksgiving, you can find where there's an order form. You can print it out, handwrite it in, fax it to us, or I believe you can also email the order. Or you can just call us up and I'll take your order, or one of us will take the order over the phone. You can order a la carte items. It doesn't have to be the package.
So if you just wanted a turkey, you get a turkey.
If they wanted just a turkey, I have a couple customers that do turkey and gravy every year. I have some people that call me, that I have one customer every single year. She does sweet potato casserole and an apple pie.
Okay.
And that's it. So it's whatever you like, however you might want to add to your own meal. That a lot of people just really love to cook for Thanksgiving, but maybe one or two items would make such a difference and make their life a little bit easier.
Sure. I'll tell you, I enjoy your cheesecake. I'm not a big sweets type of person, but I enjoy your cheesecake a lot.
Thank you, Richard.
I really do. And these, I had one of these once. In fact, I cut it in half and gave the other half to my wife.
Oh,
we split
good.
it, but
Today we brought you a pumpkin and a vanilla, by the way. So one is filled with pumpkin and this one's filled with vanilla.
Yeah, I can see the difference in the color.
Yep.
I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but I'm not used to this camera thing yet. I'm used to sitting behind a mic in a studio and nobody sees me.
I think you look good. Let me just say.
I'll pay you later. I don't know, Bruce. I know you're over there. You don't even have a mic. Or do you have a live mic or not? Yeah? You got any questions? Do you have any questions? Okay. I just want to make sure that I was covering everything. Janet, anything else you'd like to tell about your incredible life and and your cheesecake dynasty?
My gosh. What else is there to tell? Let's see. Well, I'm very excited because we have recently added to the list of customers that we have. As I said, we sell the cheesecake to the ShopRites. Basil Bandwagon right in town sells our cheesecake. Surprisingly, Pine Creek Liquor Store
They just opened up.
They just opened up about, a year ago?
They're not too far from
They're
you.
right across the street from us, and my sons apparently are customers, regulars, I guess. And Ryan, the owner, somehow they got talking, and there's a freezer over there with our cheesecake and apple pie in it, and it's only been 2 weeks, and I think he's placed 4 orders. None of us really knew what to expect, but it seems like a nice a convenience for people to go into the liquor store, maybe grab a bottle of wine and maybe a cheesecake for a gift.
Sure.
I don't know. We just never thought about it. So we might have to expand on that business. But what else can I tell you? We recently, I asked Joe Colilillo if he would be kind enough to help me expand our business a little bit. And he is very well known in the world of the ShopRites in Wakefern, and I believe he's the president of Wakefern. And he said to me, I would be happy to help you. What is it that you need? And I said, well, I'd like to expand, but I don't want to go. I'd like to do this carefully, just a few stores at a time. Do you know anyone that would be, some of the other stores? And so he put me in touch with the buyer from the Village ShopRites, owned by the Sumas family, and I had a meeting with them. And this summer we've been selling the cheesecake to 4 of their stores in Bernardsville, in Morristown, East Hanover, or I guess they call it the Cedar Knolls store, Sterling, and Garwood. Okay, and then just last week we delivered to 3 new stores, also owned by that family, the Hillsborough, Chester, and Washington stores. So we're, we need to expand. We want to expand. This is all good. What we need to do now is to build up a customer base in those places, because that's the thing that scares me. My sons want to just go like gangbusters, and I know that it's important that you grow your business, and we need to grow our business, but I want to make sure that we have a solid foundation under us, and
Sure.
that the customer base, that the customers know us. So what we're doing right now is we're focusing on getting in the store and sampling and giving demos, and really right now, if there are people out there that would like to help do that, we have a need for that right now. So that would be a wonderful thing if we could find some other people out there that might be
Okay.
interested in helping us with that.
Jenna, one of the things I had to jump in because you actually are quite a television star now. You guys have
That's
appeared
right.
on two.
You should talk about that.
Well, not me talk about it. She needs to talk about it, and your experience and what shows you're on and how people can find you, because I'm sure those shows are archived online with the Cooking Channel. So tell us all about how that came about and what it was like and how people can watch those shows.
Okay. Well, I think we talked a little bit about we mentioned the fact that we started doing frozen chocolate covered cheesecake on a stick.
Yeah.
We did a couple of events locally like 3 or 4 years ago, and we said, you know what, I guess the first time we really did it was Shad Fest
Okay.
about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was kind of fun and people loved it, and we thought, well, how do we expand on this? And so we started to do more events, and I found that I enjoyed it, and it was great to get out of the office and great to meet people and watch them enjoy the cheesecake.
Sure.
That was fun because, we make it, we sell it. I don't get to see them eat it or get to see their reaction, but I really do enjoy that part of it. But so we basically needed to find a way to make that a little bit easier. So my son found a trailer and converted it into a concession trailer for us. It's basically an old pop-up camper. He changed it up, and we literally crank it up when we get to the event, and we set up and we're in business, and then when we're done we put the lid down and we drive home, we're good. So this past year he built a second one, and then by the end of the season we had a day where we wanted to be in 4 different places at the same time. So we had another trailer that was just an enclosed trailer, and on Wednesday he cut a window into it, and by Saturday we had our third trailer
Sure,
on, and then we had another tent. But my point, I'm getting off the track. The point is that we've got we're going out and we're doing these events, and we were going to be at Waterloo Village for St. Michael's Festival early in the season in May. I think it was right after Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
And we got a call that the Cooking Channel was going to be the show Carnival Eats that is on the Cooking Channel was the host was going to be interviewing some of the people from with the different concessions at that festival, and they were looking to pick who they might want to interview. So the people that were in charge gave them our name, and we got a phone interview, which led to a couple more conversations, and they said they were considering us, and we were very excited, and then we found out that they chose us, and so that was all set and planned for. I forget the date that they filmed us, but it was early in June. No, I think it was the last weekend in May. Okay. And then we had just joined the chamber in the Lambertville Chamber.
Okay.
And they contacted everybody and said that there was another production company that was looking for mom and pop businesses that might be interested in being featured on a show called The Great American Food Finds. In fact, we didn't know what the name of the show was at the time. All we knew was that there was a show, and they were looking for. They were trying to pick some family businesses, and we contacted them and said we were interested, and gave them a little bio on Maddalena's, and an hour after I sent the email, we got the call from the producer, and she said that she wanted to do a Skype interview with the boys and I, and we did that. And like the following week, they said, "You're in." But they both wanted to interview us. They both wanted to do their shows the same weekend. It was
Of course.
it was crazy. So we were on one show. Was taped on Saturday and the other on Sunday, the same weekend, and it was fun. I really enjoyed it. So it's been a very nice opportunity, and they've rerun, especially the Carnival Eats show has been on several times since. I think it's on different networks, and so it was a wonderful opportunity for us.
Well, you certainly made a good impression. Last week you were able to come up and watch a taping of The Kitchen.
That's right.
Which is, we appreciate you doing that, and everybody enjoyed the gifts that you brought along, the homemade gifts. So hopefully you'll be making more appearances on network television, and, good response from everybody about what you did, and sorry you didn't get to spend some more time with the hosts and so forth.
It was a very busy day.
Yes, it's always a busy day.
Yeah.
So
we enjoyed being there.
you're always welcome to come back and be in the audience. We'd love to have you. So
Thank you.
But we
Bruce.
also,
nice job.
I'm talking with her to do a show here for
Yeah,
us.
it's in the works, folks. So
Yes.
you'll get to hear all the secrets on how
And
the
now we know
cheesecakes
that-
are made,
And
and
now we know if she comes, she brings all kinds of stuff.
well, and that's why she's one of our favorite guests already.
I
because-
come with goodies.
Exactly. Listen, if you feed us, you're on the air forever.
Yeah.
So that's the way it is. Also, we reciprocate with our guests. So obviously, we want you to have a Jersey Talk Radio T-shirt, so you can wear that around the shop
I would
and
love
wherever.
that.
You can.
There it is.
Designed by Richard.
Richard
Excellent
G.
job.
Absolutely. People that are as old as Richard and I remember where a similar logo appeared on a record album many years
Yes.
ago, and it's iconic. But we didn't steal it. He made his own.
But
It's
surprisingly enough, even young people have said to me, that reminds me of that.
That's
Those
right.
lips with that tongue. Yeah.
Exactly. So
I think it's great.
we appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Kind of our inaugural program.
I wish both of you all the luck in the world.
you know-
I know you're going to do wonderful.
I was going to mention it. She mentioned Flemington Car and Truck Country.
Yes.
And we should mention that we
Absolutely.
are Jersey Talk Radio, but the studio here is Flemington Car and Truck Country Broadcast Center, and that's where we'll be coming from. So we have a relationship with,
Yeah, we're honored to be part of,
yes.
partnering with those and the other folks that have offered to be part of this. And, the trust they put in us and the goodwill and putting their money forward is certainly very humbling, and we're going to do our best to make this an asset to the community, because it can be a very valuable
and that's
asset.
why we had on you.
Aw.
You had you on first.
Yeah, because you know what?
Thank you, I'm honored.
Well, I grew up with Gene, and I grew up here in Hunterdon County, and West Jersey has a lot to offer, and I think we need to acknowledge the work that goes into local businesses.
I agree.
You mentioned Colillo. Nobody has anything but good vibes about what they've done in the greater community, how they treat their employees.
Exactly.
The same with Steve Califer and the folks over. I mean, they're iconic for a good reason, because they treat their customers right, and they also treat their employees right.
Goodness.
That is a very rare thing in my experience traveling all over the world doing documentaries. That's not as prolific as it should be. So, we are very, very humbled to have them as part of our team, as well as Pat and Heidi and the Ameriprise organization. We're going to be working with Jack Cust and the hospital and a lot of other organizations that I'm not at liberty to discuss yet until it's made public. But we're going to try to hold up our end of the bargain and do the right thing for the community as well as the businesses, because without the businesses, we all starve. So,
Well, you two are doing good things, and I know that you will do it well.
We're gonna
I-
try.
We're going to give it
very
our,
and there's
excited
always
to
room for
watch.
improvement, no matter
Yeah.
what we do, and we're going to try to make things
we're going
better.
to give it our best shot.
Absolutely, it's quite an honor to be the first, and this is kind of groundbreaking, and I hope that it catches on the way that I know it will after 40 years of broadcasting. But we're reintroducing local broadcasting local community television and radio back into the community. And there are other organizations that Rich has been involved with them, as I have. But this is a different spin on it. This is a full commercial broadcast operation. So it's a little bit different approach, and we hope that there's going to be something on there for everybody. Time will tell.
Well, I am so excited to be here and be part of it.
Oh, we're so excited you brought us an apple pie.
Well, you
I'm thankful
enjoy.
for that. So,
Enjoy.
so Rich, I'll let you take us out, and thank you again, Janet.
I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank you for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me.
I know you're to get you here because you're so busy.
It is a busy time right now. It is.
And I really appreciate the fact that I just made a call and you said yes.
Absolutely. I'm honored to be here, and I'm thrilled, and especially to be here for your first broadcast. I'm so excited for you.
Well, we're excited to have you. And I want to just thank everybody for watching, and we will be back. We will be starting maybe next week. We're working things out. When you do something like this, there's a lot of equipment and things to get working and all that. But hopefully we're going to be up and running soon with broadcasts every night from 4 o'clock in the afternoon until midnight.
Awesome.
So please stay tuned. We're done. Yep.
You're clear.
Yep. Thank you so much.
I talk too much. I think I'm too wordy.
I'm sorry.